Hello and welcome back. So as we mentioned in the last video, what we want to do now is get our resources into Azure. So we've defined these resources, our resource group and our virtual network in code, and now we want to see what it looks like when we apply those to Azure using Pulumi. So first things first, if you're not logged into Azure through the CLI, please make sure that you do that now. So just run the command az login. This will open a browser, click on the account that you want to log in as, and then we should be good to go. If you do have multiple subscriptions in Azure, I'm going to assume that you know how to log into each individual subscription, and I'm not going to show that here just to keep it simple. But please make sure that you're logged into your Azure account with the correct subscription. Okay, so when we're looking at applying our resources with Pulumi, there's really two commands that we're interested in. The first one is Pulumi preview. So if we type in Pulumi preview and press enter, it's going to ask us for our passphrase. If we didn't set one, just press enter. We didn't set one, so I am just going to press enter here. And it's going to build our project. Now, this does take a couple of minutes sometimes, and once the project's built, it's going to fail because we haven't provided the resource group name to the virtual network args. So we talked about this a little bit previously. Every resource in Azure does require a resource group name, and stupidly we've missed it here. So we're just going to add it here. So resource group.name. If you caught that, well done. If not, then just make sure you add it with me now. So we'll go back and we'll run Pulumi preview again, and we'll press enter for the passphrase. It's going to build again. Like you say, this can take a minute or two, and then it's going to give us this output. So what is this output showing us? Basically, we have a Pulumi stack called infrastructure-dev, so that's our project name and the stack name. Then we have the two resources that it's going to create for us. So we've got Azure Native Resources Resource Group and Azure Native Network Virtual Network, along with the names that we've given them up here, so Resource Group and Virtual Network, and then what it's going to do. So in this case, it's going to create these two resources. Now this might say changed, or it might say replace, it might say destroy, and we'll look at all those different things as the course goes on. But for now, it's going to create those resources. Okay, so if you're happy with that, the next command is Pulumi up. And again, it's going to ask us for our passphrase. And again, it's actually going to give us exactly the same output. But this time, it's going to say, do you want to perform this update? Now, in our case, it's safe to perform this because it's not going to make any changes we're not expecting. But the idea of giving you the preview beforehand is to make sure that you're not going to destroy any resources that you don't want to, or cause any problems with your existing infrastructure. Ours is brand new, so we're just going to press yes. It's going to build again, and now it's going to start creating those resources for us in Azure. Now, sometimes it can take a few minutes to create these resources, particularly if you have a brand new Azure account, but after a while they do become a little bit quicker. So you may find that yours take a couple of minutes. Mine have only took a couple of seconds, but over time yours will get quicker as well. It's just that very first initial setup with an Azure account, the resources can take a little bit longer. But I promise you that will go away, and these resources will create nice and quickly like mine just have. Okay, so from here, we're just going to jump it into the Azure portal, and we're going to go to resource groups. And hopefully you should see something familiar. It's RSG-Globocycle. So that's the resource group that we created. And inside here, we have our virtual network. So VNet-Globocycle. So we've successfully deployed those resources into Azure using Pulumi. And if you are new to infrastructure as code, congratulations. You have successfully deployed some infrastructure using code and Pulumi. Now, in the next video, we're going to create some more resources. We're going to define them in code and keep pushing them up to Azure to make sure that we're fulfilling the requirements for Globocycle. So hopefully I'll see you there.